long time, settling in as part of the Ministry of Social Development. Sally's been there for many years, in and out, and she's back there and she keeps us all in line, I hope. The next person we've got here is Jenny Janiff, who has probably worked maybe the longest in MSD, and a lot of you will know Jenny. She's worked with migrant and refugee groups for years, and she's the person that some of you will know have welcomed you into New Zealand. So thank you for all your time and as well as many, what it's like to come to a country where you haven't got the language and where everything's rather strange. Jessica Huang, who is our project manager. She's working with international students, and she has been seconded from the police, but where she's an ethnic liaison officer.
Mr. Pacific and ethnic greetings to you all. My name is Susan, as Penny introduced, part of the Settling team. Settling is part of the Family and Community Services on the Ministry of Social Development, as long introduction. And now it's my privilege to introduce my guest speaker, our lovely Lily. And Lily helped in the past. Lily, please.
Do you want me to go up Riddell? I'll introduce him straight away.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
Kia ora. And Kia ora Hari.
Kia ora,
Hari I
Lily.
knew
Kia
from
ora.
when I used to live in Riverhead, and he was a primary school principal in Riverhead. How long ago was that, Hari?
Oh, too long, don't take it.
Right, his daughter and my daughter are very good friends from primary school. Anyway, why I say it's so lovely to be here is that Race Relations Day for 2011, in order to eliminate discrimination in New Zealand, the key word is harmony. And I think Marae is a harmonious place, or can be, and I believe it's Marae, if you like. In other words, a family marae at Waikato Bay in the east coast of Norfolk Brisbane. And it was a beautiful marae, beautifully carved, a bit smaller than this. And I had the privilege of staying. And also today we are celebrating the Women's Day, International Women's Day. And again, I looked up in Google, because I'm a modern grandmother, and I was able to find out that the theme was to do with education, training, science and technology, and also a better pathway for women to have good careers. And so, again, we're celebrating and talking about things in education, which leads me to say that I was still education for a long time, and I've considered myself part of the education in New Zealand. I want to start off with education with school. I want to start off with my mother. And I've got a little card here. I used to work at MSD. So I'm just showing you this card which said, and this was from a group of your mother. So if that has been so for you, you can also say I, which means I agree with that. My mother, about the Western world. But she was smart enough to know that when she was pregnant with me, that she didn't want a man doctor, she wanted a woman doctor. And interestingly enough, at that time, there were so many women doctors, that there was a wonderful woman doctor in a small state. And she worked amongst the poor, amongst Māori, and she came to be my mum's doctor. And my mum had four of us at home, and she had a midwife as well. So that was amazing at that time. She didn't have to go to hospital and go to a strange place. She was able to do that and have a home birth. I thought she was pretty smart to be able to do that. Some things do, as you know, in the range of smartness. Even today, for a long time. 1947, they allowed all the ones who had those technical permits to stay in New Zealand. So my mother finally, 3% sigh of relief in some ways. We can say it was settled. Although she always wanted to go back to China. China was her home. And she really didn't want to stay. She wanted permanent residence, but she didn't want to stay, you know? Best of both worlds. But but then things happened in China and she was not able to go back. And having spent the first 10 years bringing up 4 children, after that time, she decided that she wanted to go out and do something. She was tired of just being at home. And so she decided to go and lease a garden in Mangaree. We lived in Newmarket. My father was working in partnership in a fruit shop in Broadway. But she wanted to do something. So she decided she would go with a 3-year-old, and I was 9, into Mangaree and start a market garden for 6 acres. Which she did. And she said the Chinese men laughed at her. They said, Nancy, Chinese, you know, you don't know anything about market gardening. How can you start a garden? And they were, you know, they really, really thought she was going to fail. But she did it. She was strong. She hired people, other people who were here on who success came in the sense that she worked hard, she earned some money, times were good, and later on she was able to buy a garden and actually have a little roadside shop, and we all worked at it. This was 4 children. And I'm now reaching all to your lessons is like 1940, ripe old age of 70. So, and unlike my mother, I have not experienced war, or poverty, or hardship. I didn't have to go in the garden, live in a shop, that wasn't very hard. And I received a good education. Because girls, well, they're not so important. Boys have to go and do the business. Oh, girls, doesn't go. They go to university. They're not very useful. Oh, they don't get any inheritance. So off I went. Anyway, it was probably my undoing getting a good education. Because then in the 1960s, I disappointed my parents greatly. I disappointed my parents because I happened to go around with a part Māori, part Chinese boy. Oh, this was not Aoi, by the way. this is the first one. I did it the second time. My mother would turn over in a grave, she knew that. But she had died since then.